with the Heart, Mind, Money podcast, where me, your humble servant, Giselle Mascareñas, the COO of Latina Empire and the juice extractor of all things, our founder, Perla Tamés Casas Novas, we are here to pour into you the Heart, Mind, Money method.
Yes.
The Heart, Mind, Money method. And I always get super excited, to ask you questions because I learn a ton, so I feel very selfish, and because I walk away with all these nuggets where I hope that you do too, and that's why we do this podcast, because the method is real, the success that you've had is real, the continued success that you have is real, and the lessons within choosing this lifestyle is just literally a choice away. And so we do this so that we empower anyone who's listening to know that you can do this. You can, whatever success is to you, you can get involved in the Heart, Mind, Money world, and you will have access to the resources, to Perla, to the community, to the love, to the momentum.
Yes.
Just choose.
Yes, it's
just
your choice.
Just choose to. So
what you live and how you live and where you live is your choice.
So Pete, what I want to talk to you about is really interesting because you have a very different perspective that I think is really important because people don't dive deep enough into this whole thing of you shouldn't care what people think. I believe that you shouldn't. In the last few years, have taken action on I live my life honest, which is something that gives me a lot of pride, and I feel it's a lot of pride. I feel proud of myself, but it's also the way that I was raised, right? That's why I think I'm so hardcore on it. But I've always worked on I don't give a shit what people think. I don't care what people think. And then I start working with you. And so what I want you to share with people is okay, they hear that a lot. We hear that a lot, but there is a nuance there that is super important to tackle. How have you reached the success that you've had and balance doing it and not caring what people think, but do.
Caring, yeah.
How? What is that?
That's a very unique buffet.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
what's on the buffet table?
Number one, I do what makes Perla joyous.
Right.
Here, over there, in New York, and China, and McAllen, and Reynosa, anywhere I'm at, I do me. Okay, and what makes me happy, in tune with my values, my mission, and my purpose of life.
Okay.
Which my purpose of life is to ignite acts of kindness. I wanted to ignite acts of kindness until I realized, wait a minute, not everybody's ready to do acts of kindness because they have to do their self-work, be extremely fulfilled themselves to then have the abundance in excess to share to others. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm working on several levels below acts of kindness to help people reach their ultimate personal success.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's why I serve as a bridge for healing, and I give the program of clarity, of a pro program, etc. Programs that have to do with heart healing your story, better processes in your business, etc. So that's one thing. I do what makes Perla happy. Number two, I don't care what people think of me because that is their opinion. And just the way I have opinions of other people, people have opinions of me, and that's okay.
Okay.
Because it's an opinion. So what's an opinion? It's an unproved fact that is a perspective of a person. So if they feel that, if they say, oh, Perla's broke. Okay, that's okay. I'm not going to engage with that. It's not going to affect me because I know I'm not.
Right.
Right?
Right.
People can talk shit all day long.
Okay.
When I am in front of people and when I am around people, I'm here to be me. And who am I?
You ignite kindness.
Soy una mujer libre, poderosa y amorosa. I am a woman that's free, powerful, and loving that wants to ignite kindness. So when I walk into a room, I say hi to everybody, I kiss everybody, and I hug everybody.
Yeah.
Regardless if there's people that will look at me in their side eye or steer away to not give me a hug, because I'm going to go hug everybody. But I don't hold anything against them because that's their opinion and that's their perspective. And when I'm in the room and I'm doing me, and for example, we're going to talk about the power of manifestation or the sense of astrology. And I know that there's somebody in the room that is a very hardcore Christian or Catholic that does not believe in manifestation, that does not believe in astrology. I'm not going to bring up the topic because I would be disrespecting them. So I do me, but Perla is like an octopus with a lot of
tentacles.
A lot of tentacles, but I know where I'm going to play with my tentacles. And if there's somebody in the room that I am aware of that I could be disrespecting because I am a person that is free, powerful, and loving to ignite acts of kindness, I'm not going to step on nobody's feet just because I'm me. That's my ego. ¿Sí me entiendes?
Yes.
And I don't have to teach nobody nothing, and I don't need to convince nobody of anything. So if I believe in astrology, but I know that one person in the room that I am aware of, sometimes I may not be aware, does not believe in astrology, I'm not going to bring up that topic.
Don't bring it up.
Because I have other topics that could relate with that person that they're going to be in tune with. The astrology is for me to talk about it somewhere else. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And that helps my circle be positive. That helps my circle be free, loving, and in peace, rather than ruffling people that are gonna talk shit and it's gonna affect my circle. So if it's in my control to keep peace, it's in my control. But if I would be a bee, like a bitch, and I'm like, oh, astrology's the best. Astrology told me this and told me that. And I know I'm going to be stepping on somebody's toes.
You know that you're going to be.
I'm chingando them. I know that I'm going to have a reaction from them. ¿Y para qué? Why do I need people's negative reaction?
And you've always been like that?
Always been like that. Always, always. You can go back to when I was a child. I will never want to ruffle people's feathers. Now, there's people out there that can attest to this. When I have ruffled people's feathers in a direct confrontation, I go all out. I'm very aggressive and I'm very mean. And my mouth can be the nastiest thing you've ever heard. But I know that, Perla.
But you don't do it behind the back. You do it to them directly.
And I do it to them directly. And I don't ever want to be that Perla. So I try to control that Perla because that Perla is nasty. She's terrible. Everybody has a terrible you.
Oh, hell yeah.
Everybody. Pero no le muevas.
But you know, like you're talking and I'm thinking, oh, I've literally been on stage talking and I've seen somebody in the crowd and I'm like, any modo. No. I'm still gonna say what I need to say, even though because I know the story and I think I was being a bitch.
Yeah, you were. And
I will never. That's ego.
That's your ego. And when I'm in a room, I'm reading the room and I'm looking at people's faces to my story. If I'm looking at because you can read people based on their face expressions. If I'm reading, you know, and you take the decision whether you're gonna be a bitch.
I mean, I'm really reflecting,
you're gonna hold back.
And I can pinpoint times where I'm like, I'm like, you don't really have to say it like that because they just did that or they experienced that or whatever, and you're like, pues ni modo, they did it. Like I literally in my head thought that.
Yeah,
I'm a better person now, I swear. But I have been in those moments, you know, in the past, and I'm like, whoa, that was ego hardcore.
Yeah, it's your ego.
Like it was like a reminder, like
te voy a chingar, or whatever,
or just a reminder to them, like I know.
Yeah, no,
because it was in the thing, but who gives a shit?
Pero I'm gonna tell you, going to that, I've been in places where I have people in front of me, people that have been my enemies in the past, if you could say, and I've had them in my presence and I will talk just freely and loving, and because they were there and they knew that I could punch back at them and I didn't, I earned their respect.
Yeah.
And that has been the bridge to a healed relationship. And I have some of those people in my life.
That's beautiful. But wait a minute, but how about when you have to talk to somebody and it is relevant to be like, you didn't perform, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. it's relevant to the topic of getting to the next level. How do you do that?
Yeah, because but you do that in person. You don't do it in front of a crowd.
Oh yeah.
And
No, for
when
sure.
you
Okay.
talk- and when
so you
talk-
still do that?
Yes, I do that. But when you do that from a place of love,
Yeah.
with no ego, people understand.
Yeah.
You know, you've seen me part ways with people.
Yeah.
And have I had issues?
No.
Are those people still in my life?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how are they in my life? They're my friends. We keep in touch. They come to my circle because when I had to part ways with them, we spoke about it. And when I've parted ways with people that just like don't get it, I let the justice system take care of it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to mess with it.
You just let it flow.
I let it flow and I'm not going to mess with it. You know, for legal stuff like that, I have attorneys, you know.
Yeah.
File a lawsuit, take care of my losses, bye.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's where it comes from. Like, I have been at so many places speaking of my story in front of people
Okay.
that I know have said otherwise about me,
Okay.
and I don't care. That's their opinion. I respect their opinion.
Yeah.
Do I take it personal? Do I react? That's on them. They just the way that I have the right to have opinions of others, they have the right to have opinion of me. It's a fair game. But I remain in the justice. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Like like last week, I think I was with one of somebody in my team, and they were like, "Hi, Perla, people ask me about you. Like they want to know about you." And then they were like, "And what does her husband do?" And like, why do people want to know that? You know, because it's a fair question.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're high profile. Of course
But it's a fair question. Do I take it wrong? No pasa nada. It's okay. Because people can ask, "Oh, and she's older than him." Yes. Like, I'm a cougar.
Yeah. No, you're not.
And I'm proud. No.
You're
I'm
older,
6 years
but
older than my husband.
that's not a cougar.
But I'm proud. Like, it's okay, you know? No pasa nada. Entonces, it's like the perspective and how you see things, you know? And some people are going to say, you know, I'm sure there's... And then I said, we're talking about somebody else and how this one person, like, has a lot of negative comments around her because she causes a lot of... She stirs up drama. And then I said, you know, I don't think I've ever asked you, or I think I've ever asked you, like, do people say negative things about me out there in the community? But I asked her, I had never asked you. And she was like, that's a really good question. Actually, no.
No.
And I said, well, that has changed because when I was younger, like in my 19, 20, 21 years old, people, not community, but, you know, in my family or like second degree circle, some older people would have negative comments about me. And that's okay, right?
Yeah.
But if I'm walking on somebody else's territory and I see that there's grenades on the floor, I'm not going to go and step on the grenade. There's no need for that. So I'm not going to go and touch up a subject that's going to piss people off. ¿Para qué? What am I going to get out of it? Now, if somebody would say like, Perla, if you step on their toes, I'm going to pay you $1 million. Okay, I'll go and sit on that. You know what I mean? But
that is not true.
But what are you going to get out of it? Like let's talk about the situation, when you did it, you know, when you were on stage and you like still,
when you're talking and I think in that moment, it was like, and I had no hatred. Like, I'm thinking of one specific moment. It was several years ago. But I remember going, like, I had known about something that they did and they lie about it all the time, like, and had relative to like what I was talking about, like empowering people, and they would speak a big game and they really didn't. They like would squash people down and stuff. It's not my place to school anybody, but I did in that moment. I was like, I'm going to say something very, very specific that has exactly to do with that person, but in generalizing it. And I think for me, literally it was my ego saying, you know, like...
At the end, the question is, who did you feed?
I fed my ego.
That's it.
I fed my ego.
And then, what does your ego give you? Nothing.
Nothing. It doesn't give you anything.
That person got the message and
the person got the message and probably went to go and talk
this freaking bee, and she went to talk bad about you to people that probably don't know you to change their perspective. So now instead of having one person that didn't like you, now you probably have 5. ¿Para
Absolutely.
qué necesitamos eso en la vida?
Literally,
Por eso yo digo,
totally get
por
it.
eso yo siempre digo, sé tú, pero con
Have
respeto.
respect with the people around you.
Sé tú donde tú quieras estar, pero con respeto. No le pises los pies a la gente. No hay necesidad.
There isn't.
Porque al fin
There
de
isn't.
cuentas, eso afecta a tu entorno. That affects your circle. You understand what I mean?
Yeah. And it affects you inside too.
And if I could take control of keeping my circle positive and people thinking about me positively, cha-ching. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
When you're living-
something that we can control.
Yeah.
Because
well, we can't control what other people say or don't say because that has
But you
little
can control
issues with them.
Yes, but you can control the reactions of the effects.
Absolutely.
And I try
And
to
the intention
control,
you're putting out.
And I try to control that as much as I can.
I love that. I love this topic. These are little reminders that people need because if you're about to throw a grenade, just like think twice because like who are you affecting?
Because it'll come right back.
Who are you affecting? So I love this. Yay. I want everybody to know that if you want to be part of the Heart, Mind, Money world, you want to know what is going on in Perla's world, all you have to do is go into the show notes and there is a link that says everything that's going, like it says everything under the sun or something like that, or everything under the Heart, Mind, Money world. And that link is going to take you to something that we update all the time. It's all the programs that we have. It's all the events that we have. It's anything, free webinars, free workshops that Perla is having. And it goes and it allows you to go have access to our community that is called the Mana Lounge, soon to be the Heart, Mind, Money Lounge, that has our free courses, free access to Perla. It's an amazing community that we're working really, really hard to create this safe space for you to thrive.
Yes. Follow us on all social media platforms at Reflexiona con Perla, at the Latina Empire, sending you love. You have the control of what you put out there to the world. You take action. If you want to live in peace, freedom, and empowerment, you take the action steps to do that.
Yeah.
So, te mando un beso, un abrazo, y cuídate mucho. Ciao, chiquita baby.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to Heart, Mind, and Money podcast with Perla, the awesome Perla.
Thank you.
Yes, I want everybody to look into thelatinaempire.com, look more into what this whole mission is. Also, on all our social medias is at The Latina Empire, at The Latina Empire. And to connect with Perla, who answers every single comment, message. We'll
anything.
send you a voice message. We'll ask you to send her your WhatsApp. She will answer anything, any problem, any advice. I mean, you're pretty remarkable at that. And you can find Perla on Instagram at Reflexiona
con Perla.
Reflexiona con Perla. But we are all across social media, and Perla is always every single day pouring into you through all social platforms at the Latina Empire. And we also have our community at the Mana Lounge that you can find more information at any of the links on any of our social medias. And we would love to have you as one of our manas.
We've got to keep learning.
We got to keep learning. We got to keep healing our heart,
Healing your heart.
challenging our minds,
Challenge your mind to fill your pockets.
to fill your pockets. Thank you guys for having us.